An internal memo from the Democratic Party was released today, which showed that they knew Israel and their support for Israel cost them votes. And importantly, that support for Israel was a key factor in the 2024 loss of the presidential election. And we all sane people knew this because their support for a genocide would obviously cost them votes, but I want you to take in what this actually means. Because much more than just an I told you so moment, this should be the best evidence to date that the corporate donors of the Democratic Party, which are why they made this decision, would prefer a Republican win than an actual progressive change. And so the Democratic Party does not just operate as the incompetent loser or the less perfect option. They do not operate in response merely to moderates existing and being a part of the electorate. They operate explicitly to reflect the interests of the corporate donors, which is to distract from real opposition and act in the interests of them. And if that includes losing, they will choose to do that rather than do any concessions to the progressive left flank. And if you are what I would call blue MAGA and balk to any criticism of the Democrats as shilling for Republicans, I need you to hear this. Because you can still believe that Democrats are better than Republicans for people at home in America. You can still believe that. But if your goal is genuinely to cause progressive change that makes the life of Americans better right now, then your relationship with the Democratic Party must change. Because if they are willing to sacrifice their own victories in exchange for not making any progressive changes, then the only relationship you should have with them is antagonistic to provide maximal external pressure for them not to just concede to corporate donors. So you can hold on to your belief of harm reduction, which, like, I agree, all politics is harm reduction, duh. But putting that aside, you can still believe that we should tactically engage with electoralism. This should change how you do that. And I know I'm not going to get through to all of you. I've conceded that. I accept that. I'm not going to call you all grifters for disagreeing with me, even though that may be what I occasionally believe. But please, for the love of God, just consider if the Democrats were willing to lose an election instead of change their policies. Whenever you tell us that we need to change our policies to help the Democrats win elections, maybe we are more helpful as pressure to the Democrats so they don't do this evil, horrible, disgusting shit that costs us them winning, rather than yet another blind supporter that enables them to lose.